Welcome to Southwest Tech's PowerPoint presentation, How to Survive Finals Week Stress-Free. Well, maybe I should say almost stress-free. For some, stress can be a helpful thing. I know for me, a little stress helps me get things done. And for others, or at other times, stress can be an adverse byproduct of life in general. We all have stress, but the extent of the stress is what counts. Too much stress can interfere with your preparations, concentration, and performance. And sometimes stress can lead to avoidance. So if we have a final that we need to study for and we are really stressed about it, we may just avoid studying for that final. And of course, it could result in a poor performance on that final as well. And or the too high or too low expectations of oneself. Maybe I could have, when you're taking that final, could I have studied more? Could I have studied less? All depends on the person. Dealing with stress. When a person is under stress, and I know it is with me, there are sometimes underlying issues come to surface during that stressful times. And that just makes sense because if stress reduces our performance, it reduces our concentrations, things are going to go wrong. And you have to know what your physical or emotional limits are. I know when I get stressed out, I can't say a positive thing about a person, or I cry at the drop of a bucket. But knowing these things helps me control my position, my emotions, and saying, okay, I'm just stressed out, relax. Another thing, identifying the cause of the stressor is important. Are you stressed for that final because you didn't study enough? You don't understand the information. You didn't do the homework. You didn't go to class. Those things could be the cause of some of your stress. So you can seek out support. I know when I asked this in our presentation, what could you do for support? And the student was very good. They say, go to the Knox Learning Center. And I thought, good advertising. Yes, the Knox Learning Center is there for your support. But there's also your instructor. The instructor has appointment times that he is contracted to meet with students. So do not be afraid to set up an appointment with your instructor or talk to another classmate. Maybe you know one of the classmates that is doing very well and they seem to be getting it. Maybe meeting with them is a way of support, is seeking out support. And also there are utilizing the techniques to restress are great in number. So remember that they vary from very student to student. Okay, some of the things that we can look at as stress busters, in other words, reducing the stress, are common ordinary things that affect our daily lives. And knowing that you get enough sleep is going to help you reduce your stress level. Eating healthy, being active, just going out and working out in the activity center at Southwest Tech or Charlie's and playing pool. Those are things that are being active. Learning to say no. Don't overcommit yourself. So if you know you've got finals week, maybe things in your social life have to be on hold for that week. Of course, without saying avoiding use of alcoholic or drugs because those deaden your sensors, your brain sensors. Also, get time away alone. Being able to kind of concentrate on how you're going to deal with the finals. Those kinds of things is also very helpful. Spend 3 or 4 minutes not doing anything. Just sitting there, closing your eyes, and just taking deep breaths. Sometimes that's just a way of reducing some of that stress. Also, if you think about it, studying for 1 hour at a time and then take a break. Studying for 3 or 4 hours in a row doesn't help your brain. It doesn't help you to concentrate better. You need to get up. You need to take a little walk. You need to do a little physical activity, maybe doing jumping jacks or running around the block and then coming back. It refreshes you and it makes you more awake or aware, whatever, to study in that next hour. Next, you can make a list and write down everything you need to get done. This is very helpful in terms of reducing stress, but also keeping your time limits. Most of you are probably very restricted in time. You're working, you're trying to handle a family life, you're home, and you don't have that extra time. So making that list where you can cross them out just adds to more efficient use of your time. I like this picture because it really makes us want to get at those finals, knocking out finals with knocks. Of course, that's a kind of an advertisement for our learning center, but we got to have some tips for the finals that hopefully will make you successful. And these tips are available at the Knox Learning Center. Just go to the front desk or the desk, and they'll guide you to the right tips handout. Yes, and notice he's determined. So I hope that everyone has that same look, and they're ready for that final, bringing them on. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is the 5-day study plan. This I truly feel is the best study technique there is. It helps reduce stress. It manages your time. It helps you decide what's important to study for the test. It's just a great overall tool that can make studying for the test less stressful and even reduce time in studying for the test. If you are interested in the 5-day study plan, you can contact the Knox Learning Center and someone will walk you through it. We are also planning to develop a little PowerPoint on the 5-day study plan, so hopefully that will come out soon too. The one thing we want to avoid, of course, is the all-nighters, and you have probably heard this from day one of studying for finals. Do not do it. Do not take all-nighters. Well, first of all, they reduce your function the next day to 50 to 70%. So if you're already stressed out about the test and your level of functioning is down that low, it's not a good sign you're going to do well on the test. Can't set you up for panic. You've studied all night. And again, remember we stress, get enough sleep. We haven't got that sleep. And so those underlying issues are coming, and then all of a sudden panic strikes. So all-nighters can't be emphasized enough not to do them. Because sleep deprivation, I know we're probably aware that it results in poor concentration, your shortened attention span, decreases the ability to retain information, loses the ability to read others' emotions properly, so you may be reading somebody's comment wrong, lack of control in your own emotions, and that goes back to that crying at this drop of a bucket, crying at the littlest thing. At least that's what happens to me when I have control of my emotions. And then also it weakens your immune system. So you're going to find out that you're getting colds. You may be getting the flu or something during that finals week all the time. And it all results to either that stress or that sleep deprivation. So they kind of go hand in hand. Now, I'm not sure you're aware, though, of the long-term effects. It can actually alter and imbalance your hormones associated with hunger. So if you go without eating, it can reduce your learning ability simply because that brain needs rest, and that's why we have sleep. It increases in the likelihood of anxiety disorders. And as we said, weight gain, increase risk of diabetes, kidney failure, heart disease, and stroke. So you may want to think about doing those all-nighters and about how sleep deprivation can be have some long-term effects. So, but if you must cram, and of course you're only going to do it this semester because you haven't had a good training, we want you to think about these things before, maybe do these things as a last resort. And the first one, do not should yourself. I should do this. I should do this. But really focus on here and now. Okay, what can I do now? What do I need to do here? Be selective when studying it. If you're doing a cram at the last minute, you are not, you've got this vast amount of information. So the first thing you need to say is what's important. What's important in this course, and study just that. You might use the skimming technique in reading, looking over the headings of the chapters. Do I understand this? Making questions out of those headings so that you can focus on the important things again that you need to study. And of course, limiting that caffeine to 1 or 2 cups in a 24-hour period of time. One student reminded me, well, that's only like a bottle and a half of soda. And that's, that's the bad thing about caffeine is that it can affect your performance. And so that's why we want to avoid it. Exercising, light exercising is good. Eating healthy snacks while you're studying. That food will give you the energy. Even music sometimes energizes people up. Taking power naps sometimes, and I find I can take take a 10-minute break and lay down or put my head down, and I feel so much better. However, some people can't handle power naps. It just doesn't work for them. Proper lighting is also important because it makes a difference whether you have a brightly lit up room or a dull room. You're more likely to stay focused and alert in a brightly lit room. And of course, your brain needs breaks. So take a few minutes off and take a break. Do something different. Do some exercising. I think we mentioned that before, even with reducing stress. So what do you do right before the exam? Well, of course, I think most of these things you're well aware of. Sometimes you just need to review them and go through them right before the test so that you kind of, oh yeah, I got to remember to do this. Get a good night's sleep. Nothing said about that. Eat and drink something healthy. Deep breathing. This has really been, in all the research I've done about test anxiety and things, they say deep breathing really is a very popular technique and it works well. The problem is you need to practice it. You need to remember to do it when you're taking that test. And so again, that's why it's important to maybe go through these things right before the test. Meditate. That's kind of being close your eyes, not thinking of anything, and thinking of a nice place you would rather be. All those things are kind of part of that meditating. Talk to a friend. Kind of get your mind off the test, and try to think of something different. Light exercise, so even going for a walk, if you're early for the test, walk around the hallways for a couple minutes, and so that you can, get your brain activated, get the oxygen flowing. So, and of course, relax. It's not, and you need to tell yourself that being tense is going to only hurt you. And you have to remind yourself, maybe saying that over and over again. One of the ways I like to remember that is the more stress, that's another one wrong. And so if I'm tense, that's another one wrong on the test I'm going to get. So that relaxation is only to help you get more right on the test. Okay, and also we have our resources. We have Gina Thrallop, our campus counselor. She's an excellent person to talk to if the tests are getting to you. It seems like the world is all going wrong. Stress is not that easily handled by you. My wonderful suggestions may not work for you. So that's the time to talk to Gina. Of course, stop in the Knox Learning Center and see our academic success coaches, of which I am one. I guess I really didn't tell you who I am. I'm Marlene Klein, and I'm one of the academic success coaches. We have Pete, who is our math expert, and Brenda, who's our language expert, that can help you with doing those final papers. The other thing you can do is contact your advisor. They have a wealth of resources that they can tap into that might be very helpful for you too. And of course, attending one of our fun stresses. Those things, we missed the pet therapy today, so you had a chance. They were actually had a couple of pets in here that people can come and pet to de-stress. But next week, starting on the 5th, we have, starting at 1:30, there are chair massages being offered free. And then that's on December the 5th. On December the 7th, we have pancake breakfast with the deans. So a good way of getting a nutritious meal right before a final or building up those healthy meals. And then on the 8th, there is a painted canvas and a hot chocolate bar. So if you want to de-stress and try to paint a canvas and enjoy some hot chocolate and make your own trail mix, this is a perfect activity. If you need more information about it, you can certainly call the Knox Learning Center and we would be happy to help you with that. So in closing, I would like to say that remind you that we are available for you. I can be reached at mklein@swtc.edu. That's M and it's KLEIN @swtc.edu. Or you can contact any of our other academic coaches too. Success coaches. If you have any questions, contact your instructor about your coursework. There are many, all I would like to leave you with, there are many resources. We just want you to make sure you know all of them. Have a great day.